A lot of selfies being taken at networking events. Very simple concept, and it's a cool idea.
So we just got roasted on the Hustle Funds live Second Opinion podcast. Take a look at what they had to say about SelfTact.
So 50% of people do not follow up, be the top 10%. Interesting, compelling title slide. Smart Selfies for networking and personal CRM. Sounds crazy. It is. There are 34 billion selfies taken a year and 52 million professionals that attend an event in a year. I feel like that number is even lower than it probably is. 1% of 345 million selfies at networking events. Do not use business cards. No more nameless selfies, no more lost, crumbled business cards. Easy steps during networking. So you're taking a selfie as you're networking together, and that has some sort of facial recognition that drafts an email for you and see where you met on the map. So it kind of keeps an inventory of your network based on your selfies, online, offline, virtual events. It works with existing workflows, one tap, easy steps post networking, B2C, B2C business model. Okay, so it's like a SaaS model, but logos behind. And then there's a large professional networking market. They have a roadmap, a team of experts, 2 patents. Interesting to know at the very end here. And they're raising 500K in capital, be the 10%. All right, few high-level thoughts about this deck. Number one, I love the be the 10% as a little tagline that you guys can use as just a brandable moment. This is a consumer-facing application. And so you want to show investors that you have a good taste when it comes to branding. And so I think in this case, and not in all cases, but in this case, it makes sense to have a really nicely designed deck and some strong kind of marketing speak or, marketing words that, people can remember you by. So I think that's a really memorable start. I think this very windy introduction is interesting, but I personally think it's doing you a little bit of a disservice because it's so long and it gets a little bit confusing as I get to kind of 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's, in theory, a very simple concept, and it's a cool idea, basically. The idea that instead of the typical kind of boring networking, needing to give a business card or, kind of send an email or get some contact information, you can just take a selfie, and there's technology in the back end that creates this visual network for yourself. If you just led with that, people would get it right away. It's not a confusing proposition. It's just a unique idea. And then the burden becomes, how do you build a business around this? And so after you kind of like very quickly, instead of 10 slides, 1 slide, get somebody across the line of, okay, this is a unique proposition, then you need to substantiate it with a really kind of sound business strategy, which I do feel like is peppered in with, the fact that there are a lot of selfies being taken at networking events. We have like a smart kind of model for this. And then where I'm kind of missing is how to, I would imagine that there is like a kind of inherent flywheel or product-led discoverability based on the fact that you could, be with somebody and they take a selfie with you. You're like, what's that? Can I, join this platform? And so I feel like you could probably more explicitly say that there is a flywheel effect that we're looking to create because of the fact that it takes 2 to take a selfie here. So those are my thoughts and a few suggestions. I think this could be a much shorter deck, but it's a really cool proposition. I think that there's a lot of the pieces are here. It's just a matter of kind of looking to optimize for an audience that may not care to read this 10 slide up front and really just wants to get to the point and see that there's a cool business opportunity here, and rather than kind of having to figure that out themselves. Mark, any thoughts?
My only note is that slide 22 had a very exciting piece of information. When you are an early stage business, people are often getting, 1, the time of the founders, and 2, the technology. They're also buying into the vision of the company and like where it can go. But to me, this feels like a potential hook or just something I'd want to know very early, because this gives you a right to win with this, very fluid way of sharing contacts and this new way maybe of doing networking. So yeah, I'd want to know more about the patents. I thought this came in too late.
Totally. I think you're gonna start seeing this theme pop up as we go through these. We love using any bit of credibility building information higher up in the deck to grab people's attention and give them a reason to continue reading. And so this would be a perfect, we built this technology. It's a cool idea. We have the patents. There's a great business here. Good little intro arc.